want to be tied up in a bunch of miserable people.
Right.
You know, I don't like waiting in line. So if I'm going to go to Rite Aid for some stuff, I'm going to go to Rite Aid at 10:30 a.m.
Right.
Because I don't have to wait in line. I don't have to see no one miserable. You know, shit.
That's wonderful. That's great thinking.
You know?
I think we need, eventually with all the crowds, we're going to have to go on a 24-hour day. You know, instead of working 8 to 5, there's 3 different shifts. And everything will be open all the time. The banks in the middle of the market, because we're going to need to do that in the big cities. We are going to need to do that.
Yeah,
go on a 24-hour clock. There's no question in my mind. You know?
Yeah, and there's no reason to not, especially with technology and things of that nature. And like you're saying too, I think I don't know if you're familiar with cryptocurrencies at all, but they've kind of gone that route where it's 24-hour banking, and it's kind of interesting how you can get access to your money at any time. You know, like. Not
as long as we have electricity.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? There's always a caveat.
Oh my God! And I don't want to talk doomsday things, but if we went without electricity for 3 days in Los Angeles, it would be the worst disaster in modern civilization.
Yeah.
Because the police officers are only going to care about their families, and you're only going to have one tank of gas, and you can't buy anything.
Well, I was talking to a gentleman actually that lives in my building. He's a very smart man, and he called something to my attention. He said, "You know why I live here?" He said, "Because if anything went to shit in L.A., this is the only way out."
The ocean.
Yeah.
Lots of boats to choose. We have all these boats to choose from.
Yeah, exactly.
Sailboat, by the way. Yeah. You need a sailboat.
Sailboat, yeah, because of gasoline and stuff. Yeah, you're right. Sailboat, yeah. Now, those bigger sailboats, do they use any kind of electricity, or you can still put up those anchors?
Well, they got generators. They got engines. The big sailboats.
Because there's that one over there that
the Asahi, is it back?
The Asahi. It might not be over there right now, but I've seen it over there. That's a beautiful sailboat. That's like
that's Larry Ellison's boat.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's got
about
that
30
other one?
million.
Yeah. Who's got that other one that's next to it? Not the sailboat, but that massive yacht. It's got the England. It got the England flag.
Oh, that's just here temporarily.
Oh, that was.
You didn't see the big ones though. I mean, you haven't seen the real big ones,
like
a Tessa, twice that size.
Then the 4-story one that was parked over there the other day. Oh, that's twice the size.
Oh yeah, a Tessa is 300 feet. Dennis Washington, I was on it. He actually gave me the book. There's a whole.
Really, because I was kind of disappointed that guy didn't have a helicopter pad on his boat.
Dennis has 4 yachts, all with $20 million helicopter.
Oh, helicopter pads.
He's styling.
I knew there had to be a bigger boat.
Oh my gosh!
When you didn't have the helicopter pad,
a Tessa 1, 2, 3, and 4, magnificent yachts.
Wow.
I was on a Tessa 3 in Catalina.
Does he dock them here, or
they're positioned all around the world.
All around the world.
He flies in his private 737, usually by himself or with his tennis friend. Gets out the plane, gets in the helicopter, and they fly to the boat. And then that's his life.
That's so
not too shabby.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I played tennis with him in Catalina. That was kind of fun. But there's a lot of money out there, and there's a lot of great yachts. Yachts are the biggest, fanciest mansions you've ever seen. And I've been in some nice mansions in my life around the world. It's been fun. But so getting back to the real Brian. You're a marketing guru, so to speak, branding. You got anything exciting coming up that you're working on? Besides the Be Fantastic movement?
Yeah, well, that's probably the most exciting thing. A bunch of different projects and stuff. A lot of our projects we would be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You see our stuff, but we don't. You just see it.
Yeah. I told my wife 30 years ago that this would be your bank. It'll be your movie screen, your television set.
It's everything.
Your wallet, everything. I said that 30 years ago. I prognosticated it. I was doing video 30 years ago.
It's funny you say that, Dr. Fitness. One thing that I've seen since I was really young, probably like 7, 8 years old, I always thought wired electricity was stupid. Because, if you can pass, for instance, and I kind of foresaw this too, like you're saying a little bit with the phones and stuff, and I'm thinking, if you can talk on the phone, right, and take your voice, code it into a vibration, take that vibration, send it to a tower, have that tower send it back to you, decode it to you, and say a voice instantaneously. You're telling me we can't pass electricity, which already comes through the ether, through the sun, naturally?
We can. Tesla did that.
No, back in the 1920s. So I always found that really interesting. So I think, like you were saying, all the stuff's going to be on the... And I think there'll also be a day in our lifetime where we don't have wired electricity at all either.
Probably not.
Actually, the phone will just charge. It'll just be in the ether. Just things will just charge just off.
You're correct.
Some kind of
You're correct.
I think we'll head that way, and there'll be autonomous vehicles. I think I actually heard this from
one of my interviews is a guy who's designed the rules for the road for autonomous taxis.
Oh wow.
So go ahead.
That's really cool. Yeah. No, I think I was talking to this girl the other day, and she said something I thought was very wise. And she said, she's like, name one thing that children in the future will look back and be like, I can't believe people ever did that. And the one thing that she said that I thought was really smart, she said that children think they can't believe that we ever drove.
Yeah. Well, they did that in a movie with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, did they?
He got in a movie with Sandra Bullock, and he took the controls off of autopilot. She goes, "What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why would you drive, when you
Yeah.
don't have to?"
Yeah.
But here's another prognication I've been talking about lately. In the not too distant future, we won't use words to communicate. We won't use language
telepathy?
anymore.
I
Telepathy.
agree. I
Because
think we had that.
I'm trying to convey a thought to you right now, and I may not have the words or do it properly, and it's an archaic form of communication.
Super archaic, and I think English too, because it's
all languages.
Definitely,
Yeah.
Especially, but because even English itself, just for the simple, I say that because it's a blend
Of everything
all these
else.
other languages. So
French,
it's
Spanish.
So it's like we're so far from that like original quintessence of whatever language comes from.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I believe that the words come from numbers originally.
Right.
The numbers made the logos.
Right.
But then you get off in this path here where now it's like we don't have the proper tools to actually express a lot of emotions
Right.
or a lot of feelings, a lot of things that we experience. We don't even have the language to express a lot of that stuff,
Right.
especially when you're talking about a lot of the metaphysical world.
Right.
There's no way to express that stuff, and I think we already have that telepathic ability. I think
We do. Your mother looked at you in a way when you were a kid. You know exactly what she was saying without any words.
You ever thought about someone either that you haven't talked to?
The
in
expression
years?
helps a bit too.
Yeah, and you haven't talked to anyone in years. And this person in years, and you all of a sudden think of them, and then they just call you out the blue. And it's like, what is that? You tell me that person didn't hear you thinking about them, and I absolutely think that we have that telepath. Another example I think that we all can recognize is like when you go into a crowded room, maybe you're in high school, when you walked into the room, and it could be all quiet, but you still hear something. There's some kind of feeling in the room. There's like, you can kind of hear everyone's mind, what kind of is going on. I mean, when you go into a room, you can feel like, oh, is everyone positive in here?
You feel
or
the
is
energy.
everyone negative?
I was next to Michael Jackson once.
Yep.
And you could feel the electricity from the guy.
Energy.
Amazing.
Well, we are electrical
Yes, of course.
beings,
Yeah.
and that's I think that's one thing that, especially when it comes to a health perspective, is understanding that we're electrical beings, and you
Right.
need to put things that are organic and electrical into your body to make
Right.
sure that's properly balanced, and not inorganic and non-electrical things.
You spoke a moment ago about numerology.
Mm.
I did a speech, my big fantastic speech at a peace rally, and one of the guru guys came up to me and he couldn't believe I chose the Be Fantastic as the movement. And he said that those two words, translated into numerology, mean health and planet.
Wow. So a healthy planet. Wait, what? So
Can you believe that
so
luck?
Be fantastic means the healthy planet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Numerology.
shit. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I've always kind of had this feeling.
I couldn't believe how lucky that. I didn't do that on purpose.
No, this is what I really.
It's all
it's
fate.
all
It's all
divine.
you and I sitting here at this moment, brainstorming, thinking, talking. By the way, of the 800 interviews I have to date, never a rehearsal, never a second take, and never an edit. It's me talking to someone else, being real, flow, and we're talking about different things. We move and jog and just. And I'm not the best speech person. I'm not a motivational speaker now, but I mean, I'm not a speaker, let's say, because I'm going to hem and I'm going to haw, I'm going to say, probably too much, but it is who I am. I'm not going to change.
It's authentic.
It's authentic. It's just somebody who's a normal guy, sort of.
So the whole
I don't like that word, though.
Yeah, so Be Fantastic is a healthy world. And, I've always kind of saw it as, we're all, we have cells in our body. I look at each human being as an individual cell in itself, and if you look at
we're all connected. We're all organisms of the same thing.
And I mean, organisms are that way. I mean, if you look at mushrooms, for instance, a mushroom, they actually detoxify water. That's what mushrooms do. And if there's a new toxin that they find, like say in Alaska, there's a field of mushrooms that finds a new toxin, and they find the antibodies for that toxin. The mushrooms in Australia will simultaneously have the antibody for that toxin.
Wow.
So they communicate in this neural network like this. And we have, I mean, if a mushroom has that capability, you tell me human beings don't have that capability.
Right.
So we do have that capability. It's a matter of tapping into that and getting people to work in cooperative effort. And like you said, that makes a healthy world. So Be Fantastic. There's a lot to that, and the bee with the pollination of the
Pollinating positivity.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Without bees, they say we're screwed.
I was actually watching something there was this Netflix special about like this animal world, and there was a bee. It was going into this plant, right? It was going into this plant for kind of a selfish reason. Okay, he was going in because he needed to get some perfume because he's trying to meet with his lady.
Is it the one where he's sent into a channel?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
Our
about.
Planet. It's the most amazing show I ever saw in my life.
It's awesome.
And as it was forced into this thing, I thought it was going to eat it, right?
Yeah.
It forced into this canal, and the only way to get out was to go through this canal. And just as he exited, the thing pollinated onto the bee.
On the bee. So he came out smelling good for his honey.
Exactly.
And he ended up flying away with the pollination. So it was the orchid.
The orchid.
Right? Yeah,
was that amazing?
It was really amazing. It was that give and take. It was that natural give and take environment. It gives me the chills actually talking about because that's really how we are. You know, that's how we operate. And you look at how the fish and the birds and everything. You know, there might be a school of mackerel come through, and the birds come down to eat it. You know, the dolphins come through, eat it.
You saw that part of it too.
But they don't. But they eat in a way where they eat the ones that are essentially like already about to go anyways.
Oh, they're right.
You know, and they don't. What I know is just about watching them is like they don't like overindulge.
Well, they're not greedy and selfish like what's happening to our big cities.
You know, they eat just enough to maintain. You know, to maintain, and it's not like they're just not overindulging just for the sake of indulgence.
Right.
You know, and I think that's something you know, to be disciplined. You know, and to be.
Well, the thing is, we've grown because of the competition in the big cities and the millions of thriving people and everyone out for themselves, and it's a dog-eat-dog world, and it's a rat race. We're turning into greedy, selfish people. And we need to get away from that.
Well, it's really, I think it's flipping that. It's like, cause it's like transmuting that darkness of that selfishness into light and realize that.
Well, we can.
Selfishness for the right reasons can actually be positive. And understanding that's what's in your best interest is actually what's in your brother's best